Picture this. Someone spending their entire savings on a 30-year-old car from Japan. Not a Ferrari, not a Lamborghini, a Nissan Skyline or a Toyota Supra. Their friends think they're crazy. Their family questions their judgment. But to them, it's the most rational decision in the world. What's really happening inside their minds? The obsession with JDM cars reveals something fascinating about human psychology that goes way beyond just liking fast cars. It's a window into how we form identities, create meaning, and find our place in the world. And honestly, understanding this obsession helps us understand obsession itself. Let's start with something called identity economics. Humans don't just buy things because they need them. We buy things that tell a story about who we are. When someone chooses a JDM car over a mainstream sports car, they're making a statement. They're saying they value rarity, they appreciate engineering over badge prestige, and they're part of a subculture that knows something the average person doesn't. It's like being in on a secret that makes you special. Think about how different this is from buying a Porsche or a Corvette. Those are impressive cars, sure, but they're obvious choices. They scream, "Look at me, I have money." A modified Mazda RX-7 with a rotary engine whispers something else entirely. It says, "I understand what real enthusiasts appreciate." There's a psychological concept called distinction seeking, where people deliberately choose less mainstream options to separate themselves from the crowd. JDM car enthusiasts are masters of this. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Most of these obsessed enthusiasts grew up in the 90s or early 2000s. They played Gran Turismo and Need for Speed Underground. They watched The Fast and the Furious at a formative age. These weren't just games and movies to them. They were blueprint experiences that shaped their entire worldview about what's cool, what's valuable, and what's worth pursuing. Psychologists call this imprinting, and it happens during critical developmental windows, especially during adolescence when we're forming our core identities. The brain basically takes these early experiences and files them under, "This is what success and coolness look like." Decades later, a grown adult will pay ridiculous amounts of money for a car they first saw in a video game when they were 12. It's not really about the car anymore. It's about reconnecting with that feeling of wonder and possibility they had as a kid. That's nostalgia working at a deep psychological level. But there's another layer. JDM cars were forbidden fruit for the longest time. In America, the 25-year import rule meant these cars were illegal to own. In other countries, they were simply rare and expensive to import. Psychological research consistently shows that restrictions increase desire. When something is hard to get, our brains assign it more value automatically. It's called the scarcity principle, and it's one of the most powerful forces in human decision-making. So these cars weren't just cool, they were unattainable. And when something is unattainable, it becomes almost mythical in our minds. People would spend hours watching videos of cars they couldn't have, reading about them, dreaming about them. This actually strengthened their obsession. The waiting and wanting became part of the appeal itself. Social belonging plays a massive role here too. When someone gets into JDM cars, they're not just getting a vehicle, they're getting access to an entire community. Car meets, online forums, Instagram groups, track days. Suddenly, they're surrounded by people who speak their language, who understand their passion, who validate their choices. Humans are tribal creatures. We desperately want to belong to something bigger than ourselves. And here's what makes JDM culture particularly powerful. It has its own language, its own values, its own hierarchy. Knowing the difference between an RB26 and a 2JZ engine isn't just technical knowledge, it's cultural currency. It's how you prove you belong. Anthropologists study these kinds of subcultural markers, and JDM culture has developed incredibly sophisticated ones. The level of modification, the authenticity of parts, the history of a particular chassis number, all of this creates layers of status and recognition within the community. There's also something called the IKEA effect in psychology. People value things more when they've put effort into them. JDM car ownership isn't passive. These cars require work. They need maintenance. They need modification. Parts have to be sourced from Japan. Engines need rebuilding. Every owner becomes part mechanic, part detective, part curator. This investment of time and energy makes the car feel like an extension of themselves. It's not just property anymore. It's almost like a child they've raised. The modification culture amplifies this even further. A stock JDM car is nice, but a properly built one is a personal statement. Every part chosen, every performance upgrade, every aesthetic decision reflects the owner's taste and knowledge. It's creative expression through machinery. And when someone compliments their build, it's not just praising their car, it's praising their judgment, their taste, their dedication. That hits the reward centers in the brain hard. Let's talk about dopamine for a second. This neurotransmitter drives so much of human behavior. It's not actually the pleasure chemical, though. It's the anticipation chemical. Dopamine fires when we're pursuing something, when we're on the hunt, when we're working towards a goal. JDM car culture is perfectly designed to trigger dopamine constantly. There's always another part to buy, another modification to plan, another car to dream about owning, another lap time to beat. The pursuit never ends, which means the dopamine hits keep coming.
Status seeking is another huge factor that people don't always want to admit. Within mainstream society, these cars might seem strange or impractical, but within the enthusiast community, they confer serious status. Rolling up to a car meet in a pristine R34 Skyline GTR gets you instant respect. It signals dedication, knowledge, and often financial commitment. Humans are hierarchical creatures, whether we like admitting it or not. We constantly evaluate where we stand relative to others. JDM culture just creates its own status system separate from mainstream luxury markers. There's also an element of contrarianism at play. Many JDM enthusiasts take pride in going against conventional automotive wisdom. While others chase horsepower numbers and 0 to 60 times, they appreciate balance, handling dynamics, and engineering philosophy. There's a certain satisfaction in knowing something the masses don't. It's a form of intellectual superiority, even if that sounds harsh. Psychology research shows that people who see themselves as having non-mainstream knowledge or taste often form stronger attachments to their interests. The technical complexity of these cars matters too. JDM engines and drivetrains often feature engineering solutions that are genuinely innovative. The Skyline's IKEA all-wheel drive system, the sequential turbo setup in the RX-7, the variable valve timing systems that were ahead of their time. Learning about these systems and understanding how they work provides genuine intellectual stimulation. It's puzzle solving, it's mastery, and humans are hardwired to find mastery deeply satisfying. Here's something subtle but important. JDM car obsession provides clear, measurable goals in a world that often feels chaotic and ambiguous. Save money for the car, find the right one, import it, modify it, take it to the track, beat your personal best time. These are concrete objectives with clear success markers. Compare that to modern life, where success often feels nebulous and constantly shifting. The clarity of automotive goals provides psychological comfort and direction. The aesthetic appeal can't be ignored either. JDM cars from the 90s especially have a design language that resonates with people on a visual level. Those sharp lines, those proportions, those details. Beauty activates reward centers in the brain just like food or social connection does. And when something looks right to us, we want to be near it, to possess it, to make it ours. What really ties all of this together is meaning-making. Humans need to feel like their lives have purpose and direction. For some people, religion provides that. For others, career or family. For JDM enthusiasts, their cars become a central organizing principle in their lives. Weekend plans revolve around car meets. Vacations include visiting famous automotive locations in Japan. Friendships form around shared passion. The car becomes the axis around which a meaningful life is constructed. And maybe that's what outsiders miss when they shake their heads at someone spending $50,000 on an old Japanese car. They're not seeing the car. They're seeing the identity, the community, the purpose, the nostalgia, the mastery, and the meaning all rolled into one turbocharged package. The obsession isn't irrational at all. It's deeply, profoundly human.